Hey there, amplifiers. Anytime you're putting on a show and you're going to really put on a performance and serve your audience, you need to make sure you've got the right team on board. Just like having roadies and having the right crew to set up your tech and get things running, you need a team to make sure that everything runs smoothly. And our guest today is a profit coach who happens to be an accountant, and she's the owner of Adept Business Solutions. I'd like to welcome to Growth Amplifiers, Diane Gardner. Diane, welcome to Growth Amplifiers.
Kenny, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to share some wisdom with your team.
I'm excited to have you on board because you know what? I'm really excited because you're an expert when it comes to dealing with professionals in the trades. And I've been connecting with a lot of people in the trades market. And man, the business is booming, but with any growth also comes some challenges. So let's set up the stage and talk a little bit about the challenge that we're going to be talking about today, which is team. So if you wouldn't mind sharing, what's a challenge that you see businesses come into in regards to their teams?
Kenny, one of the biggest challenges I see as I coach with successful service business owners all across the U.S. is as they build their business, they have to build their team. And when they started out, they had maybe 2 or 3 people working for them. It was pretty easy because they were out there in the field. They knew what the guys were doing. They knew what their customer service was like. They knew all this stuff. Well, as that team grows to 10, 12, 15, 20, 25 people, they no longer have that day-to-day knowledge. They've had to step back. They've had to become the CEO of the company. They've had to look at things more from that 30,000 foot level and trust their managers to do the other part. And I see a lot of inefficiencies in their team, which is causing profit to just leak out of their business. And I always use the picture of a leaky bucket.
Right.
If you look at a leaky bucket, you're going to have some great big leaks, and then you're going to have some little small ones, and then maybe the seam is just leaking a drop here or there. But you have those big gushers, and team is a big gusher, or it can be a big gusher as I look at businesses.
And even those little small ones, you could be like, oh, they're just little small holes. But then you look back and you're like, what happened to all the water?
Yes.
What happened? There's a lot of stuff moving through there. And you've had an amazing background. And if you wouldn't mind just kind of like sharing a little bit about your background and what got you to this point to be that profit coach that happens to be an accountant.
Well, I started out being an accountant and decided that I wanted to do something that I thought would serve businesses better. Pretty much anybody can put little numbers in little boxes. There's no, really special skill about that. Yeah, there is. But, in reality, any accountant can do that. But not every accountant can actually coach a business and help them become more profitable, help them take action, get that cash flow working the way it needs to be. And so as a result, I got certified through Mike Michalowicz's program, first through the Profit First program, then moved into the Pumpkin Plan program, and then moved into Fix This Next, so that I had certifications in all 3 of those areas, which allows me to have a very well-rounded background to bring to these businesses and give them the value that they need to turn their companies into profit-making machines instead of cash-eating monsters.
Right. So, man, who likes to know that you're working really hard, putting a lot of time and energy, trying to serve your customers, only to find out that all of your efforts are getting gobbled away and you don't even know where the money's going. So for people who are tuning in and they're saying, oh, that doesn't sound good. Maybe I have some cash monsters eating up my profits. What's something that they could do? What's an action item that they could take that would help them start to thwart that problem?
One of the things that we do in our coaching program is we work through the actual cost of a fully burdened hour from each of your employees. So fully burdened means that you've got their wages, you've got your perks, your health insurance, maybe your 401k, holidays, sick time, vacation time, all that stuff. Then on top of that, we're going to add in workers' comp, we're going to add in payroll taxes, we're going to look at how many non-productive hours does that employee have over the course of the year. Not the paid holidays and stuff, the other non-productive. The time when they're chit-chatting in your shop or your office. Those weekly meetings that are supposed to be a half an hour and they end up being an hour and a half. The chit-chat in the hallway. The unnecessary trips to and from the supply house. All those things. We also add in all the admin costs. You've got your rent, your utilities, your phones, your internet, maybe your admin team, your dispatchers. All that stuff needs to get added in together, come up with a dollar amount that adds on top of what you pay them as a wage. So let's say you pay them $30 an hour, fully burdened, they're probably $65 or $70 an hour. And that makes a huge difference how you're going to bid that job, knowing that you have to fully cover all these costs before you get any profit. So often they'll take the payroll, add in maybe some payroll taxes or workers' comp, and then they'll say, okay, I want my profit to be this much. And that's how they bid their job. In reality, they're losing money.
Hey there, this is Kenny from Growth Amplifiers, here to ensure you get your awesome ideas into action to grow and improve your business and achieve your full potential. Take the first step by visiting growthamplifiers.com and clicking the Start Here button. Take the assessment to get your personalized score. Then select from free resources to learn how to improve your score. Don't wait. Be proactive and take action now by visiting growthamplifiers.com and clicking the Start Here button. And always keep on amplifying. Now, let's get back to the show. And we see it all the time, right? You see it all the time where people they think they know what reality is, but they're missing some things under the surface. And if you're in the trades, or even if you're in other lines of business, that can be very costly, and you could be losing money potentially each job that you sell in one area and not even realizing it. So
and they think that if they concentrate on top line revenue, they can sell their way out of it. And they really can't, because every hour that they sell, they're losing money and they don't know it. And that's why top line goes up and bottom line doesn't go up.
Right. And you could see sometimes where it could just be a particular arm of the business, right? Mm-hmm. And if you don't know how to distinguish that, you could be succeeding in one area, losing in another, and thinking you're doing all right. And before you know it, you're really working very hard to not get as far as you could be if you just had better insights.
Right. And they're stressed out. They're exhausted. They're working too many hours. They feel like they're playing like they're a babysitter, the adult childcare. We've all heard that term. They feel like they're doing that because that bottom line isn't rolling. A lot of them are offering many different service lines. They might offer HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. I see those three together pretty often. And maybe, let's say plumbing's making money, but HVAC and electrical isn't, or one of the others, but they don't know it because they don't know what these real costs are. And they're almost afraid to dig into those numbers because I'm not a numbers person. I know how to go fix whatever. Right. And so then they need to come in and have a coach help them dig into those numbers and realize they're not that scary. And they're very eye-opening. And now we can make changes in the business. And they start adding mini zeros to their bottom line profits from that.
I like that. And as someone who's initially struggled a little bit with the idea of having a coach early on in my career, I've come to realize that put your ego out of the way. Successful champions have coaches. It takes the right mindset to say, hey, it's not just someone who just is struggling that needs a coach. It's somebody who's doing good and knows that they could even do a little bit better with some fresh perspective and some additional guidance. So I'm highly appreciative of that stance and want you, if you're tuning in, to consider that as well. Now, you typically have a good niche of the types of people that you work with. If you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit more about your ideal customer, that'd be great.
You bet. The businesses that get the best results through our program are a minimum of $1 million in annual sales. I like to stay in the $1 million to $25 million range. Mm-hmm. They are action takers. They are willing to listen and be coached and be coachable, I guess you'd call it. Mm-hmm. They want to see change. They want to build a really good, solid team. They care about their people. They care about their customers. Customer service is important to them because customer services, money can leak out of your customer service area too. So, I mean, there's so many areas that money can leak out of. And so they're wanting to fix these. They just need somebody to help them dig into those numbers, and we'll walk that path with them and show them how to take these numbers and then get different results from them.
Super cool. Now, if people wanted to learn more about your business and learn how you might be able to help them out, where would they go and what should they do?
They can go to www.profitcoach4you.com. That's www.profitcoach4you.com, YOU.com.
And what would be the thing that they would do first?
From there, they can take our little questionnaire. We have a profit meter that allows them to see how profitable their business really is. Take our little questionnaire. They can book a discovery call with me. We like to share lots of information and help them become profitable and take control of that cash flow. We don't want that tail wagging the dog. We want the dog wagging the tail, meaning that you get to take your profits first. You get to control your cash flow, stop the bleeding, because if it's bleeding in your staff, it's bleeding other places as well.
I think that is critical. So here's my suggestion. You're tuning in, and chances are you might be scratching your head and say, I don't know. It doesn't hurt to assess your business. It doesn't hurt. The only thing you're going to do is just simply gain more awareness. So I suggest go to the website, take the assessment, and just see for yourself. Just see for yourself where you're at. And that alone will help give you a different perspective so you can take new actions and achieve new results. And then if you do need some help, you've got a guide that can help you out.
And if not, you can reach out there and grab one of my books and get some more information just for yourself.
Super cool. Diane, thank you so much for tuning in and sharing with Growth Amplifiers. We appreciate you and what you're doing, helping others amplify their business.
Thanks for having me, Kenny.
To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.